Under the Model Rules of Professional Conduct, or MRPC, a lawyer generally has a duty of confidentiality not to reveal information related to a client's representation. Also under the MRPC, a lawyer who's formally represented a client can't represent another party in the same or a substantially related manner in which that party's interests are materially adverse to the former client's interests. But what if a lawyer jointly represented two parties in an earlier matter? Can that lawyer later represent one of the parties in a related matter against the other? The United States Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit considered this question in Brennan's versus Brennan's Restaurants. Brennan's was a restaurant in New Orleans, Louisiana that was owned and operated by the Brennan family. All family members were stockholders of Brennan's, and some were stockholders of other related entities, including Brennan's Restaurants. From 1971 to 1973, Edward Wegman represented the family businesses as general counsel and assisted trademark counsel in registering service marks in Brennan's name. In 1974, due to a disagreement, the family split into two groups. The first group became sole stockholders in Brennan's, and the second group became sole stockholders in Brennan's Restaurants. However, there was no discussion or agreement as to which group had the right to use the registered service marks. After the split, Wegman continued to represent Brennan's Restaurants and severed his ties with Brennan's. Subsequently, Brennan's sued Brennan's Restaurants in federal district court for trademark infringement. In response, Brennan's Restaurants, through Wegman, claimed that the marks were registered in Brennan's name for convenience and were for the benefit of all the family restaurants. Wegman then retained Arnold Sprung, a trademark attorney, to assist in the case. Brennan's moved to disqualify Wegman and Sprung as counsel, arguing that Wegman's representation of Brennan's Restaurants was against Brennan's interest as a former client, and that Wegman's conflict of interest should be imputed to Sprung. Following a hearing, the court granted the motion. Brennan's Restaurants appealed to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals.